The concept of owning an automobile has undergone profound transformation over the past century, particularly within the luxury segment, where vehicles have increasingly become symbols of status and achievement rather than instruments for personal transportation. A curious phenomenon has emerged in recent decades: the creation of luxury automobiles explicitly designed for owners who rarely, if ever, sit behind the wheel themselves. These vehicles represent the ultimate expression of automotive excess, engineered to impress rather than to thrill the driver, since the driver is often an employee rather than the owner. This distinction fundamentally reshapes how manufacturers approach design, comfort, and technological innovation in the ultra-luxury market. The limousine represents perhaps the most obvious example of a vehicle designed primarily for rear-seat passengers rather than drivers. While early limousines were driven by their owners, modern limousines are almost exclusively operated by professional chauffeurs. This distinction means that the entire vehicle is conceived, engineered, and appointed for the comfort and entertainment of passengers seated in the back. The driving experience becomes almost irrelevant to the ownership experience. Manufacturers of ultra-luxury limousines focus intensely on rear-seat climate control, entertainment systems, minibar amenities, and passenger comfort features that far exceed anything offered to the person actually controlling the ownership vehicle. The driver essentially operates a motorized throne room, and the quality of the driving experience is secondary to ensuring that rear passengers experience ultimate comfort and luxury. Rolls-Royce automobiles exemplify this philosophy perhaps more clearly than any other marque. When Rolls-Royce designs a new model, company philosophy explicitly centers on the rear seat passenger experience. Engineers consider suspension tuning primarily to ensure that champagne glasses won't tip over during acceleration, not to provide responsive handling or engaging driving dynamics. The company's engineers famously focus on creating an environment so serene and isolated that passengers feel as though they are seated in a luxury drawing room rather than inside a moving vehicle. The steering wheel, transmission, and driving controls are essentially afterthoughts, designed for the hired professional who operates the vehicle rather than the owner who pays for it. The Mercedes-Maybach line continues this tradition of rear seat supremacy. These vehicles stretch well beyond standard Mercedes-Benz proportions, with the additional length allocated entirely to rear passenger space. Maybach models feature electrically reclining rear seats that rival business-class airline seating in their complexity and comfort. Rear passengers enjoy heated and cooled massage functions, individual climate zones, entertainment systems with screens that rival home theater installations, and amenities specifically designed to make time spent in traffic seem like leisure time rather than lost productivity. The actual operation of the vehicle becomes a secondary concern, with driving dynamics deliberately softened to ensure maximal passenger comfort regardless of road conditions. Bentley's approach similarly prioritizes the experience of rear-seat passengers over the person operating the steering wheel. The brand's luxury sedans feature rear seats that can be configured with individual ottomans, premium leather that matches the finest furniture found in luxury homes, and climate control systems of such sophistication that each rear passenger can maintain their preferred temperature independently. The vehicle's suspension, engine response, and handling characteristics are all calibrated for passenger comfort rather than driver engagement. A billionaire owner might never experience the brake pedal response or steering feedback, instead enjoying the serenity of a perfectly isolated rear passenger compartment while their chauffeur handles the mechanical demands of vehicle operation. The ultra-luxury SUV segment demonstrates this philosophy, extending beyond traditional sedans. Vehicles like the Range Rover SVA Autobiography and similar luxury sport utility vehicles now feature rear seat packages that rival the comfort found in private aircraft. These vehicles offer heated and cooled rear seats with memory functions, panoramic roof panels that can be individually controlled to provide precise light and shade management, and entertainment systems that can transform the cargo area into a mobile entertainment venue. The owner of such a vehicle might spend hours inside it weekly, but rarely experiences the actual driving, instead relaxing in the rear while their hired professional handles the road. The Cadillac Escalade, despite being an American vehicle, follows this same principle of engineering primarily for rear seat occupants. While marketed as a luxury vehicle for owners who want to make a statement, the Escalade's design philosophy centers on creating an environment of automotive opulence in the back seats. This vehicle has become iconic in markets where status display matters profoundly, yet this vehicle has become iconic in places with professional drivers handling the actual operation. This design philosophy raises interesting questions about what constitutes genuine automotive engineering excellence. When a vehicle is designed explicitly for owners who never drive it, traditional metrics of automotive quality become almost irrelevant. Handling precision matters little if the owner will never experience cornering forces. Steering response becomes unimportant if the owner never touches the wheel. Engine responsiveness becomes secondary if the owner never feels acceleration pressure against their bat. Instead, manufacturers focus entirely on isolation, comfort, and the creation of an environment so divorced from the road and driving mechanics that passengers might forget they are in a moving vehicle at all. The rise of autonomous driving technology has accelerated this trend toward vehicles designed primarily for rear-seat passengers. As technology improves and autonomous capabilities expand, luxury manufacturers increasingly design vehicles that acknowledge the driver's decreasing importance to the ownership experience. Some ultra-luxury concepts and production vehicles now feature rear-facing seats in the back, explicitly designed so that passengers might face each other for conversation rather than looking toward the front of the vehicle. This represents an almost complete abandonment of the pretense that the owner might actually drive the vehicle themselves. The personal preference for hired professionals rather than self-driving reflects broader social and economic trends among ultra-wealthy individuals. Time has become the ultimate luxury commodity for billionaires and ultra-high net worth individuals. Spending 2 hours daily commuting represents an unacceptable waste of time that could be spent on business, leisure, or family. A luxury vehicle that forces the owner to actively drive it is actually an undesirable product from this perspective. Instead, the ideal luxury automobile becomes a mobile office, a relaxation space, or an entertainment venue that the owner occupies while staff members handle the mechanical aspects of transportation.